Finding a job might often be challenging regardless of your current experience and position. Junior, middle, senior, principal level engineers might struggle to find that one job that will suit their wants and don't wants. But let's go through the common requirements for each and every technical position: intern, junior, middle, and senior front-end engineers. Important to mention that the years of experience that you will see later on might be very different in between companies and countries. The years that I consider are very subjective and may not be realistic in one or another company, project, or country. But I truly believe that you don't need to spend 2 years in a company to grow to a middle level. Moreover, I believe that you can become senior engineer not in 5 years, as we're being told, but in 3 years if being motivated and determined enough. Intern usually is a person who either just graduated from the college or started learning the profession and currently in the very beginning of his journey. Quite some time a company will hire an intern considering him knowing absolutely nothing and hoping to grow a company's unit from scratch. I know examples when a company hired a person with zero knowledge and experience, assigning him to courses, and after got a solid junior developer. That person knew nothing but had one very crucial thing: he was extremely motivated to get this job. So he learned enough to become a junior developer in just 3 months. Very impressive. The requirements towards interns are very low and even sometimes none, apart from being motivated and have some strong will to achieve what you've planned. Number 2, junior. 0 to 1 year of experience. Junior developer is usually the one who has 0 or less than 1 year of production experience but knows a little of everything: styles, markup, and JavaScript. A junior developer will not be assigned to any complex tasks, and every step of such team member will be controlled and overwatched by a middle or senior colleague. Still, junior developer will be part of all common processes, starting from writing code, unit tests, code review, etc. Main tasks would be such as doing some markup, styling, fixing some minor JavaScript issues, and implement non-complex script logic. Junior developer is constantly mentored by a middle or senior colleague and getting knowledge mostly from them. The sooner junior developer learn how to maintain the entire workflow without constant assistance of elder colleagues, the faster he will transition to a middle one. Number 3, middle. 1 to 3 years of experience. Middle developer is one who can do pretty much every task by himself. The only part when senior or higher colleague will participate is pull requests. Middle developer is always quite strong in technologies that company is using and can learn new ones pretty fast. Apart from knowing basics CSS, HTML, and JavaScript, he most likely knows good enough one of the JavaScript frameworks: React, Vue, or Angular. CSS preprocessors such as Less, Sass, and IsCSS, familiar with some component libraries such as Bootstrap or Vuetify, knows how to work with API, can refactor bad code, but not yet experienced enough to make any crucial decisions by himself. And that's when we're coming to senior level. Number 4, senior. 3+ years of experience. Senior engineer is no longer a code monkey, but more as a planner, thinker, and inventor. Of course, he still writes code, but most likely way less than his younger colleagues. Senior engineer is involved in planning the initial project architecture, making decisions towards tech stack, and attending interviews. Senior engineer communicates with product owners, designers, analytics, and stakeholders almost on a daily basis. Plans the sprints, set goals, and assign tasks to younger colleagues and mentors them. Also can be considered as a code owner, taking a lot of responsibilities and consequences. Senior engineer is the very last level of technical roles. Next go purely management positions such as team lead, engineering manager, system architect, or principal engineer. As being said, the year of experience are very subjective, as how I see it after more than 6 years of software development. You may say that middle is 1 to 3 years is too few years of experience. But I've seen a lot of people who became a very strong middle developer after just 1 year of being in a project. At the same time, I saw quite a lot of people who have been working for 5 years but still been treated as a middle. It's a matter of how you position yourself towards the company, how well you can sell yourself during your next performance review, how motivated you are to step on the next level. Everything is very subjective and depends purely on yourself. Never underestimate you. Now let's talk about applying to your very first job. So you've learned basics of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. What's next? How to write a CV, how to search for a job, how to estimate your salary. Let's go through these steps one by one. Number 1. How to write a CV. You can search for tons of CV in web and find millions of examples. You can even find someone who will write one for you, but I would not recommend it honestly. So what the CV should have in it and how should it look like? It is quite simple. CV doesn't necessarily have to be long and very detailed. It should not be a super designy piece of paper. White paper, black ink, that's it. Make sure it's not painful to read, so don't make it too colorful. Good CVs usually consist of 1 or 2 pages. First part, your contact details, name, email, phone, photo, and the country of living. Next one is summary. 1 paragraph of information about you. Usually it's a short description of who you are, what you know, what kind of person you are, what are your strong sides, etc. Next part is skills. Literally a list of your hard skills. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, etc. Next part is your experience. A list of the project you have been working in. Of course, if you're a junior, you most likely have none. But still you can mention the courses you have attended. Bootcamps, mentorship programs, or internships. And last but not least, education. Yes, it still matters sometimes. Simply your college or university degree, date started, date ended, and your major. That's it. Remember, an HR who is reading your CV usually will try to make a decision if to proceed with you in less than a minute. The smaller it is, the more compact the information you have there, the bigger chances that you will get a call. Rule keep it simple and stupid also applies for job search. How to search for a job? There is no silver bullet. Just use as many related services as you can. LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Indeed, Facebook, or even direct emailing companies that you want to work in. The more you are visible in the web, the higher chances to be noticed. Easy as that. But remember one thing that will distinguish you greatly from a lot of other applicants and make you ahead of them: your portfolio. This is something that a lot of applicants underestimate. But this is purely the only thing that used to give me a job offer among 7 other applicants 6 years ago when I applied to my very first job. Portfolio doesn't necessarily need to be a high-end masterpiece. The code quality might be very low, the complexity of the web page or app may be the lowest, but it's still something that you can share, something that others don't have or didn't treat it as much as you did. When I interview applicants, the portfolio is probably one of the most important things for me to take a look, even more important than a home assignment. Through the person's portfolio, I can see how he writes his own code, how he follows the design specifications, which approaches does this person use to achieve his goals. This gives me a lot of understanding what is the person in a perspective of an employee. So even if your portfolio consists only of one simple online store, let's say catalog, product page, and checkout, this is already way better than nothing when it comes to making a decision of proceeding with you to the next level. By portfolio, I don't consider something very specific. It can be a GitHub page, it can be a real project you push to hosting, it can be even something locally on your laptop that you can share it with me or even show it in person. Another extremely crucial thing, your soft skills. No one wants a code monkey. Every employer wants a great human and a team player. Company is not buying you just to write a code. Company is buying an asset that it wants to have as long as possible and grow a professional and valuable employee out of it. Good engineer is not just the one who writes clean code, but the one who can be a great team player, who's not toxic, who will be loved by a team, who will be reliable and nice person, who can communicate and make his position clearly. This is a soft skills. A skill to communicate is probably the most important skill you have developed that will help you significantly on your career journey. Never underestimate it. Be nice to people and people will be nice to you. And your boss as well, and your manager on the performance review as well. So your income and your next position will depend not only on your technical skills, but on your human ones as well. Maybe even more on a human. Good and nice junior employee always treated better than a toxic senior one. Easy as that. Number 4. Salary. The salary you will get depends only on you. Of course, you most likely won't get a senior level salary with just 1 year of experience, but you can make it to the highest range. So, for example, if a junior position has a 40 to 50,000 euros a year, you can try maximizing it up to 50,000. Negotiating your salary is basically selling a product, and the product is you. You have a chance to sell yourself underpriced or overpriced. Your goal is to get it maximum or what company can spend on you. Keep in mind that the next performance review will only happen in 1 year, so you don't want to be broke within that period, aren't you? But selling yourself to a company needs to have a dedicated planning and determination. Here is when your soft skills make the biggest jobs for you. Be nice and friendly to everyone during the interviews. Don't be over-emotional. Don't lie, only say truth. Never say nothing bad about your previous employer. Have a clear plan, especially if you're a junior applicant. Make sure you have at least a rough plan for your next year or 2. No one knows what is gonna happen in the next 5 years, but you still can guess. If the interviewer will see your determination, this is gonna be a plus. Do not negotiate on your salary with your expenses. I have to pay a rent, I have a kid's school to pay, I have a bank loan, etc. Company does not care about your expenses. Company buys an asset. So the arguments for salary increase are the ones that makes you more valuable for the company. Show yourself as a very valuable asset. For example, make a clear statement about your passion, self-education skills, dedication, team play, etc. That is what costs money. Hope that video was useful for you, and for sure, your next job is just waiting for you around the corner.